Hello everyone, it is I, Robbie, and I am back on YouTube, and this is a very momentous occasion because we have finally a good, excellent, not just good, excellent version, mobile version of Out of the Park Baseball. And today is going to be a first look tour of this game, because there are some people out there that are like, Out of the Park Baseball Go? What is this? What do you get with this game? And so I will go through and I will show you some of what you do get with this particular game. But first, I would like to go back into a history of sorts about Out of the Park Baseball, and especially Out of the Park Baseball and mobile. Back in 2011, Out of the Park Developments released a mobile game that was similar to Out of the Park Baseball, but it was a very watered down game. It was called I Out of the Park Baseball, or OOTP was what it was called. And it was, like I said, very watered down. It did not have the full feature set and engine that Out of the Park Baseball Desktop had, and still has. Later on, I cannot recall how many years later, maybe somebody who does remember can refresh my memory in the comments, when the MLB licensing came about, they changed the name of the game from IOOTP to MLB Manager and added that particular year after the title. So, for instance, MLB Manager 2016. And that was about the only change made to that game besides licensing, was putting in a new title. The rest of it remained completely the same. And in that particular game, you did have to, if you wanted to replay a historical season, you had to buy it. Now, the same will be true in Out of the Park Go, and we will get into that here momentarily about what you get in Out of the Park Go. So, anyway, MLB Manager / IOOTP really did not get off the ground well and really kind of petered out and really ended up not being supported because people, I don't think, were as impressed as they were with the desktop version of Out of the Park Baseball. It did not have the full features of Out of the Park Baseball, and therefore it was not worth the effort for Marcus and his team to continue development on. They decided instead it was time for a revamp, and they spent the better part of a few years working on this revamp, which is what we now have in our hands worldwide as of Tuesday, Out of the Park Baseball Go. So that is a brief history of sorts on Out of the Park Baseball Go and its predecessors. And now, some of you are wondering, well, what do you get with this game? Well, first of all, let me mention to you that the download for this game is completely free. You do not have to pay a cent to download this game. And not only do you get the Perfect Team mode, which I will not be going into. If you want to check out Perfect Team, you are more than welcome to do so. I do very little to nothing with Perfect Team. I'm just not as into it as some are. But if you want to check it out, it's there. The full Perfect Team mode, as you see in Out of the Park Desktop, can be played now on your mobile device. The other mode that you have is Franchise Mode, and this is where I will be delving into a lot of my time here. As a matter of fact, all my time in this video will be dedicated to franchise mode and showing you what you can do with it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to tap on franchise mode. And now, as you see, I have already got a game loaded up that I can continue if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to load up a game. You also have options for a new standard game, which is play with real 2021 teams, new historical game, and new custom game. Now, as I said before, you will, if you want to replay a particular season from baseball's history, you will have to purchase that season. You'll see there's a kind of gold highlighted button that says purchase seasons. And I will go into this briefly here, and I will tap on purchase seasons so you can see what you will get when you come up on this screen. This is their season shop, and you have several options to choose from. You have the 2021 MLB and minor league baseball seasons. I assume that this is different from just playing with the 2021 teams, whereas if you start a game with the 2021 teams, you probably will not get the as-played schedule and such. But you can buy that for $4.99. You have the 2021 KBO season, which is the, I believe, Korean season, and that's $4.99. Then you have historical MLB seasons and historical MLB bundles, and we're going to discover what's in each one of these. Historical MLB seasons, if I hit discover, as you can see, brings up all the historical seasons that are available from all the way back to 1901 up until 2020. Each purchase allows you to play the season unlimited times, it says. So you can go through here and you can purchase any one of these seasons individually as you like. Now you'll see that there are 3 that are already purchased, and because what you get with this game is you do get 3 free seasons. You get 1921, you get 1977, and you get 1996 for free. You can already start a replay with any of these 3 seasons if you want. However, if you don't want to buy any of these seasons individually, or just want to buy these all up individually, which would take a lot of time, you can look to their bundles. They're historical MLB bundles, and we're going to discover these. As you can see, they go by decade, starting with 1901 to 1909. Then you have the 1910s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. And each one is $4.99 a piece. So you can buy those each at $4.99 a pop. Or you can save money even on buying off all these individual bundles one by one by buying the all-in-one bundle for $19.99. This would get you everything. I have not yet done this. I am waiting for my next pay. However, once I do get that pay, I will be getting this all-in-one bundle. So, that is what you have with purchasing historical seasons. So let's go back. Now I mentioned you have 3 options for starting a new franchise mode. You have a standard game, you have a historical game, and you have a new custom game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a new custom game and show you what you have, option-wise. Custom game brings up the league creation wizard that you are so familiar with in Out of the Park desktop. You have the options for real world, Select your league from one of the predefined real-world leagues. For example, the MLB are 8 different international leagues, including minor leagues where available. The players included in all of these leagues are real. You have fictional. A fictional league can have any structure you want. You can choose a number of sub-leagues, divisions, and teams, fictional or historical, or select one of the real-world setups. Players are real, historical, or entirely fictional, created by the out-of-the-park player generator. You may also add minor leagues, select financial rules, schedule length, and other league options. So it is almost as customizable as an out-of-the-park desktop. Then you have historical. Use the historical database to create any historical MLB league from 1871 to 2020. Teams and players are imported, rated, and added to the league. Options include minor leagues, financials, and special historical options, such as era-specific strategies. Now, this is interesting because I did not really look at this, and it says 1871 to 2020. But the historical seasons you can buy start at 1901 and go all the way up to 2020. Start at only 1901 and go all the way up to 2020. So I'm going to just hit this button real quick because I want to see something. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, see, all it has is Dead Ball Era. Yeah, that is, Dead Ball Era starting at 1901 to 1920. There is not 19th century in here. So there is not, I repeat, not 19th century in here at all. So, but you can choose from single season replay or career play if you want to. So yeah, that is something that probably needs to be mentioned to Marcus. I think when I get off with this video, I will go on the forums, and I will make a note that with him that it does say in the league creation wizard that you can go all the way back to 1871, whereas the historical limit on seasons in Out of the Park Go clearly says 1901 to 2020. So I have noticed something there, yeah. So we're going to cancel out of that. We'll go back to franchise mode and go back into custom game. So those are your 3 options that you have. I'm just going to choose fictional. And as you can see, what comes up is you can select a predefined fictional structure or select a real-world league configuration like Major League Baseball, Nippon Professional Baseball, Korea Baseball Organization, or the Chinese Pro Baseball League if you wanted to. I am going to keep it simple because I am going to not be keeping this league after I finish this video. I will be deleting it because it's just a show-off thing, just a demo that I'm doing. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to do 1 sub-league, 2 divisions, 8 total teams, so 2 divisions of 4 teams. So I'm just going to go the next step. Now here is like an out-of-the-park baseball where you can configure the name of the league, the abbreviations of the league, even what region the league is in. So if you want a league that's all in a certain U.S. state, you can do it. Or in another country, you can do it. Or even another continent. You have various choices for that. You have intercontinental. You have various continents: Asia, Africa, Europe, Americas, U.S. and Mexico, Canadian territory, Canadian province, all the way down even to U.S. states. You can have a league in any one U.S. state you want, or U.S. region. You have regions like Rocky Mountains, Pacific Northwest. You can do any of these. So, and that is part of the fun of customizing your league. But we're going to leave it no region specified. And we're just going to call it Fictional Baseball League. And to make it simple for... Well, we'll just leave the initials at FBL. I can change the name of the game to something else that I know I won't be close to my save one, so I can delete it easily. And the league level, Major League, you can also define the number of teams or the number of games per team for your regular season. So if you don't want 162, if you want something shorter, you can change the number. If you put 0 in, it will bypass completely the regular season and go right to the playoffs, which is, if you want to do a tournament with whatever league you have created, this is the best way to do it right now, because there is sadly not an option to add in standalone tournaments yet to this game. I hope that comes around, because that would be a big selling point too. So, and then off to your right, you can select if this league has minor leagues to it, which will increase the size of the database and obviously the game. And I don't really do that. I just leave the minor leagues unchecked. I do not choose any minors. So we go to the next step. Actually, let me go back to the previous step. And there's one more thing you can do, and that's edit team names. So you can go in, you can edit the sub-league names, the abbreviation for the sub-league, the division names, and the team names as you like. And you also have the option to hide the name editor again, randomize the city, and randomize the nicknames like you do in Desktop Out of the Park Baseball. But we'll hide that. And we'll just go on to the next step, which is game creation. This is where you enter in all the stuff that you usually do in Desktop Out of the Park Baseball. I'm just going to name this game AAA. And enter starting rule. I'm just going to leave it 2021, starting year 2021. Now, start mode. You can choose to hold an inaugural fantasy draft. I'm going to turn this off. I'm just going to turn that off. And then you have the option of cannot be fired. This prevents the owner from firing you should you do poorly. I like to put that on, even though what I'm going to do next is going to pretty much negate that, because it's what I do. We'll go to the next step, and this is where, and also you see where you put in your name and everything, your birth date and your nationality. This is where you select your team, and you can choose from any of the teams in the league. You have free choice over that, or you can also choose to not choose a team, in which case it says if you do not select a team, you will receive job offers after the game has started. So you can start unemployed and receive job offers and accept, reject, or just ignore them all you want. So it is like that. Yeah, so I'm not going to select a team. I'm going to finish. And it comes up to the game screen. So now, this is your home screen. Your inbox is down there. You have tasks. You have your tasks, and then you have your menus up above. Now you have the main menu, which will allow you to do stuff like go to your manager's office, mail and news, manager settings, achievements, manager history, available jobs, player search, player shortlist, load game, save game, out of the park go settings, and return to main screen. Now, that's where you go when you save the game. Then you have your league menu, which is, as you would expect, Got tabs for standings, scores, news, schedule, team stats, league leaders, transactions, player trade, league history, Hall of Fame, league rules and settings, and league rules and settings, which if you go into league rules and settings, you will see that this is very, very similar to Desktop Out of the Park Baseball, where you can even go into your options and you can customize various things like the playoffs. You can disable the playoffs. You can choose to break ties with tiebreaker games. You can even use a custom playoff system that you specify, and all the playoff types are there, including round robin, modified double elimination, and even ladder. However, since this is not a league I'm keeping, I do not want to mess with that right now. I just want to get back to it. So if we go here to standings, you'll see your standings. And you will show it's pretty detailed. You get games behind, run differential, team average, team ERA, and last 10 records, as well as your win-loss and win-loss percentage. So it is a pretty detailed view of the standings. Schedule will show you the scheduled games coming up, and as a matter of fact, what I will do real quick is I will play all the way up until opening day. And as you can see, this will play it real fast, play all the way through spring training. I do not play day by day in spring training at all. I find it boring. I find it tedious. I want to get to the regular season as it is, and so I do not mess with spring training at all. I just don't do it. So if we go back in, and you'll see the schedule for opening day. And here we are. We have our schedule for the upcoming games in the league. All of them. So, and then if you go in and you go to scores, you'll be able to see the matchups for that particular day. And so now is where I'm sure you probably want to see a little bit of gameplay. I know you've probably been waiting for this. So, what's wonderful about this that MLB Manager did not have is that you could watch any game in the league regardless of if you were a GM of that particular team or not, GM manager of the particular teams involved or not. Whereas in MLB Manager, first of all, you did have to pick a team. You were stuck with having to pick a team, and you could only play out your team's games. I am so glad that they added watch game to all of these. So you can either watch all the games or you can quick play. But I'm going to show you all a little bit of gameplay. I'm not going to play all of the game out. I'm just going to play like an inning or two, and then I'll auto finish it. So you hit watch game, and you have various options. You have your game sound option, play-by-play detail, all that stuff is there. You can choose the ball size, which I'm going to put to very big. Player size, you can choose what the player size is going to be. And I'm going to actually raise the player size just a little to 150. You can choose your camera angles. It's just like that in Out of the Park 22. And yeah, so then you can choose everything about the cameras as well. So yeah, and then you get continue, and the starting lineups come up, and you can preview the starting lineups, player versus player, and see who is favored more in the matchup, in the hitting matchup and the pitching matchup as well. So, now that you've done that and you're ready to go, you hit continue, and the game screen comes up. And isn't this lovely? This is really, really lovely. As a matter of fact, though, yeah, I want to change something. I want to go back in the game options. There's something I want to change play-by-play speed to very fast. Delay mode will be prolonged, just to speed things up a little bit. And we're back into the game now. So this is San Jose at New York. We're just going to play like one inning of this, something like that, so you can see how the game plays. So Villarreal into the box. And here we go. And you see that's going to be a ground off the shortstop. And you can see the players. You can see the play-by-play down below as well, so you can read what happens. And there's one down. McManus now is the next batter for San Jose. And you see everything happens in the D. Just like the Out of Park desktop, they have brought over the 3D engine to Out of Park desktop. And that's a strikeout, 2 away. Griffin is the next hitter. And he strikes out. So it's a 1-2-3 San Jose first. So Reyes comes to bat to start the bottom of the first. And you can play this pretty much at your own pace. And you'll be able to quick play, which we will do here after this half inning. So that I can go back in and show you a little bit more. And then, we will wrap this up. And there's a base hit to lead things off for New York. So they now have Dominguez into the box with Reyes on at first. And there's going to be a weak grounder. And they will get the double play. See how crisp that view of the double play was? It was nice and beautiful. Jay Lee, the hitter now for New York with 2 outs. And he's going to ground out to second to end the inning. As you can see, we get the various camera angles during the action as each play unfolds. So that is the inning. It's no score. And so that is basically the gameplay that you go through. And if you're managing a team, you'll be able to choose what you want to do like normal. You'll be able to have full control of that. I'm going to quick play to entire game. Are you sure this will finish simulating the game? Yes. And let's see what happened. It looks like New York blanked San Jose 4-0. Wow. On a 2-hitter. And so you get the recap, you get the box score, all the way down to all information, including how long the game took. So it's just like Out of the Park desktop. You also have your game log, which if you want to go over and read what happened, you have that option. You have that option. So, and then when you're done, you leave the game. And this is the thing that I wish that they would bring in and change a little bit, is that when you play out one game on a day, it will play out every single other game in the league on that day, no matter what time the game is at. I hope, and Marcus, or if you or anybody in your folks at Out of the Park Developments is listening, can you please put in the option to toggle this on and off? Because if there's like double headers or even a playoff time, if you want to watch all the games in your league's playoffs, you should be on a day. You should be able to do that. You should be able to do this. So, have it be toggleable is something that would benefit users greatly, and I think would make it even more enjoyable. So, but for right now, it moves the season along, the regular season along, and that's fine. But for instances like doubleheaders and the playoffs, where if you want to watch both games of the doubleheaders, or of a doubleheader, or you want to play out every single game in the playoffs, you should be able to do it. So, and that ends the opening day. You see what the scores are there, and I'll just hit back because I didn't mean to do that. There we go. And so you can go back, you can look at the standings and how things played out. And 2 teams did not play on opening day. So then you finish that day, and you get that message the first time you use the continue button, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to configure continue, I just want to continue. And so you move on immediately to the next day in the season. So, and then if you want to look at league leaders, you can look at your league leaders and various stats for batting and for pitching. And then you have Hall of Fame, which the Hall of Fame is empty right now because it's a brand new league. League history, no champions yet, brand new league. Transactions. It says I do not manage a team. You can view any pending transactions. You can view the trade block. All players, all that kind of stuff. And then you go back to your manager office. And that is really, I could show you so much more here. Let's see, what else can I show you? Oh yeah, you can view team home screens. This is your team home screen. This is a team home screen for Chicago. You can view the team transactions, team bullpen, depth charts. That's a depth chart. The team scores and schedules. That's their upcoming games. Let's see, what else can I show you? The roster rotation. Here's the lineup screen. This is the lineup screen. Front office. That's where you view all the financials and all that, which you can turn off. Customize team. You can customize the city name, the abbreviation, the nickname. You can add a historical team ID to it. All that good stuff. And so, yeah, so you have various things you can do. You do not have the ballpark creator in there or the ability to assign a ballpark into this yet. Maybe that will come down the line. This is definitely a first version, and I suspect more features will get added in over time. But there's still so much you can do with this game. Is not funny at all. And then you can go back home. You can press the home plate button to go back home. And so that's pretty much a first look at what you get with this game. And it is really, 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 really well worth it, especially if you do go and I know some of you all are thinking microtransactions for seasons. Look at it this way. It's all about supporting out of the park developments, and that's what I look at it as, is a way to support out of the park developments and say, hey, we love this game and we will be happy to purchase the historical seasons, and it will help them it'll help them innovate more in the future. The money will go to help them innovate more in the future, which out of the park developments is one of the forefront companies out there in innovation. Every year, out of the park desktop they add something new to it that every year they always innovate. And so I have no problem at all with paying a simple IAP for historical seasons if it helps support Marcus and his team to greater things down the line. And they have already achieved something really great with an out of the park game and this game is got the out of the park desktop engine in on it, and it's all on your mobile device. You can play it on your iPhone, your Android phone, your iPad, Android tablet. It's on the App Store and Google Play right now. And it is free. It is free. Download it. Give it a try. I think, especially if you like Out of the Park 22, you will come to really enjoy this. If you would like to see more of this, I will work hard to maybe figure out how to stream on mobile. I'm looking at a streaming app I have a streaming app that I've downloaded on my iPhone here called Streamlabs that I could go in and tinker with, as I have absolutely zero knowledge about what you have to do to interface with YouTube and all that on a mobile device, unlike a desktop computer. So, yeah, so if you want to see more of this, let me know in the comments. Also, if you have any particular questions about Out of the Park Go, and if I have missed something that you want to either know if it has or want me to show off, go feel free to ask me in the comments, and especially if it's asking if there's a particular feature in there, I will do my best to find out about that. And I will also be making a comment on the forums about how it says historical all the way back to 1871 when the purchasable seasons only go back as far as 1901. I don't think they realized that there. I think they probably just maybe copied that over from Out of the Park 22. And so, yeah. So, anyway, I hope you all have enjoyed this brief introduction to Out of the Park Go. And I will be back in the future with more content. I promise, I promise, I promise. Anyway, have a great day and take care.